Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, a place where you can come and just have a bit of respite from all the troubles, the worries, the turmoil of the world. And we all need a bit of respite just to allow an avenue of spirit's possibilities in our lives. And what are spirit possibilities? Well, from more love, more joy, more happiness, more prosperity, more fireworks, maybe less fireworks, depending on your inclination. Everything in life that makes you feel alive. So that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, through us, recognizing itself for our love, our joy, and our laughter. So to know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, I've got a good bit of announcements this morning, so please bear with me. The first one is we need people to sign up for hospitality. There's always lots of great food outside, and we need people to help us out. There's a sign-up sheet under the fountain. If you'd like to help, please put your name. The second one is we have our own lovely Elaine Malloy doing a workshop for us at 11:30. Elaine, do you want to come up and tell us about it? I don't see the microphone, so you're just going to have to talk loudly.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My workshop today is about your divine mission. Your divine mission could be anything. It could be being a grandmother, a grandfather, mother, father. But it also could be what your divine purpose is. You know, maybe you're artistic, or maybe you have particular gifts that you would love to share with the world, but you feel a little bit shy or hesitant to share them. So my goal then is to unblock you from holding back, from things that may have been said to you like, oh, you'll never make it as an artist, or, you know, musicians don't get paid. So the way I do it is through releasing blocked emotions, wrong beliefs, stuck energy. I do energy transmissions and healing. I also speak in light language, and sometimes I even sing. And I'll be accompanied by my husband Paul at the end to play a few songs. So that's it.
It should be wonderful. Thank you, Elaine. It's 11:30 after our service. Now, before then, we've got a little project going on because we're sending out a mailer for our Judy James matching grant. You know, if we can raise $15,000 in July, we will be matched $25,000. We have already raised $10,000, so we only need another $5,000 to come in. We have a mailer that was going out, and Joy Hamp, where's the lovely Joy Hamp? There she is. She's going to be organizing that. It'll be over in this area. We need about 6 people to help us out. Many hands will make small work. So if you like kind of stuffing envelopes and putting stamps on things, this is your project. So it'll be about 15 minutes, and you can help us out a lot. Today, after service. We have a magic show that's going to happen on July 25th. This is also going to go towards our Judy James Fund. So if you have friends that want to be interested in that, that'll be a wonderful thing. On Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, we have chair yoga by Bridget Bertzel, and this is a really fun program. And on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, we have lunch and learn, and they're reading The Untethered Soul. And on Fridays at 10 o'clock, we have a breathwork in yoga with Gita, and that's a very healing thing. On Saturday at 10 o'clock, we have meditation in motion with singing bowls. And of course, on Sunday at 9 o'clock, we have the singing bowl and healing. So there's a lot of great stuff going on here. Be sure to stay tuned into it all. The email that we send out each week, that's a great way to stay informed of what's going on. So those are all my announcements. Now we got some great songs from Don. Don, play something for us.
We'll stick to that matching contribution.
All right.
If your problems won't go away and you're worried both night and day, hand it over, get down on your knees and pray. If you're sick and feeling low, got no money and no place to go, hand it over and get down on your knees and pray. Hand it over no mountain you can't climb, ain't no answer you can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. It'll heal your body and feel your soul. If the road is dark and you can't find your way, just let the Spirit light your way. Hand it over. Hey, get down on your knees and pray. If the road is dark and you can't find your way, just let the Spirit light your way. Hand it over. Get down on your knees and pray. Hand it over. Hand it over. Give it up and give it over. Hand it over. Honey, get down on your knees and pray.
And now to get our service going, we've got the wonderful Brenda Sesses coming up to do a reading and treatment. Come on up, Brenda.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to, thank you, Jim, and welcome to the people who are watching online. I have a reading this morning from the Science of Mind July magazine. It was actually yesterday's reading. It's what we tell ourselves. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. That's by E.E. Cummings. I remember in college when I first saw E.E. Cummings all in lowercase, I took on that whole thing. I wrote everything in lowercase. And then I got over that. And from Ernest Holmes, we express good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. Holmes taught that the power of life is within us, and how we work with this power determines how our life unfolds. We can make all kinds of excuses, but none of them is our higher truth. We witness all kinds of people who use great obstacles to spur themselves on, like U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, Helen Keller, and I'm adding Harriet Tubman to this list. What does it mean to become who you really are? It means taking responsibility for your life. It means having a vision for your life and knowing what it is you really value. Remember, you have unlimited potential because you are one with Spirit. Holmes tells us that if we can think of it or dream it, we can be it or do it because Spirit put it there. To me, that means spending less time doing what I think I should do and spending more time doing what I love. In other words, it means living from my heart space. When we keep doing the shoulds, we let other people write our story. Madeline Cayce tells us to always expect the best. She writes, "So what if you get disappointed? Just move on." When we do, as she suggests, we live each day with a wonderful feeling of anticipation. Isn't that a great way to live? So, as I go into prayer, I know that there's one divine intelligence of the universe, and I am one with it. It is all-powerful. I am powerful because I am one with it. And I take responsibility for my life as I remember that I am a powerful creator. When I unite with the presence that gives me that power, I unfold the life I want, the life I know I need to live as I am inspired by the universe, by Spirit, by God, and then unfold that life based on values that are deeply important to me. And one of the values that I have is this center, this living organism, this thing that breathes and moves and creates, just as any of us do. It's a wonderful place to be. I value it greatly. I value the readers. I value the hospitality team. And by the way, please bring food and help them out. I value the Reiki practitioners. I value the Reiki, or the practitioners of science of the mind. I really value Ken's message and Ken for his uplifting messages that helped me so much during each week. I value our musician Don. I value Paul and Miles over there on the tech team. I value the people who count the money after service because they're often unrecognized. So many things go into making this center the thing that it is, the thing that helps me create the life I want based on this as my value and all my other deeply held values. And so I release this prayer knowing that the universe has everything there for us. All we need to do is be conduits for it. So I release it simply and easily by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. That was lovely. So this morning, my talk is Beyond the Veil. And I'm using for inspiration some language that I got from Edgar Cayce. If you don't know who Edgar Cayce is, he's really a fascinating guy. He was called the Sleeping Prophet. He's also called the American Prophet. Look him up. And he said that in our life, we have these barriers that we must confront. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, how to overcome challenges. He says we stand on a threshold, a sacred threshold, and that we are encouraged to go to a deeper understanding of who we are and why we're here. He says we have to break through this veil in our daily lives. And when we do, we will reach purpose, spiritual intelligence, and divine remembrance. And he says the veil is thinner than we think. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our teaching, he says we're not bodies with souls, we're souls with bodies. And soon, we will be souls without bodies. And although our bodies are a wonderful gift, and we should honor them, and gratitude and love and care for them, there will be a freedom when we step into the spiritual realm more than we've ever felt before. We will feel more alive in spirit than we feel here. When we step into our spiritual dimension, we will feel more awake than we ever have. We will be overwhelmed by love. Overwhelmed by love. And we will continue growing and learning and contributing, and perhaps from a different perspective. But we will still be on purpose in our spiritual life. There will be work for us to do. And that's why it matters what we do here in the physical realm. The growth we achieve in the physical is amplified in the spiritual. The work you do here is going to amplify where you can grow and thrive in the spiritual realm. And I know some people might ask, well, how do you know that, Ken? Have you read that before? Have you learned that? And I'll be true with you. I haven't read it anywhere. It's just my intuition of what I think is real. It's my intuition of what I think it goes on in spirit. We continue growing. We continue thriving. Dr. Holmes says we will keep on keeping on. And it's important because if we have a loving and joyful experience here in the physical, we will have more of that in the spiritual. If we find ourselves surrounded by turmoil and anger and confusion, we will have more of that in the spiritual. What we are doing now is important. What we're doing now, it will prepare us for what we will be doing throughout eternity. Edgar Cayce says the challenges we face reveal an energetic pattern, a soul-level imprint that can block us from achieving more of what we want to achieve, more of what we've come to achieve. And he says these aren't just psychological quirks, they're spiritual habits. And he says they repeat lifetime after lifetime until we heal them. And sometimes, if we don't allow those to trigger us, they can actually teach us. They can guide us towards our greater growth. They can, what we think are as roadblocks, can become blessings to us, even when they don't look like that way at all. This past week, I had a particularly painful reminder of that. You know, I have a wonder dog I got from the shelter. His name is Shaggy. You can kind of see him there. He's laying on his back to get tummy rubs. That's his favorite thing in the world. So this past week, I was running out of heartworm and flea medication for him, and I had called the vet that I had taken him to 2 days after I had gotten him from the pound, and they had done lots of blood work on him for a cost of over $400, and they had sent me home with the heartworm medication, which I had been given to him faithfully, and it had run out, so I had called to get it refilled. And I could tell that the receptionist, there was something kind of quirky going on, and she put me on pause, and then she came back and she says, we can't fulfill this for him because Shaggy tested positive for heartworm 6 months ago. And they had never bothered to get in touch with me. Yeah. They had sent me one email of 20 emails that they had sent me about closing early and, come get your nails trimmed and all that kind of stuff. But they had never contacted me and talked to me directly. No sense of urgency at all. And I was just so angry with them. I asked to speak to the vet. Can I speak to a vet to tell me what's going on? And they said I could only talk to the vet if I agreed to the future treatment plan for him, which would be $2,000. Yeah. So I was so mad. For 2 nights I couldn't sleep, and the anger got into my body, into my body. So fortunately, my prayer partner is one of those people who stays up all night long. So at a very, very late hour for me, 9:30, I called her up, and I said, Dad, I've got to have a treatment. You've got to get me to see something better in this. And she started doing a treatment, and she stopped midway. And she says, Ken, she said, I want you to realize something. She said, here's the blessing in this. If you had gotten that diagnosis 2 days after you got Shaggy from the pound, it would have been a real consideration whether you were going to take him back or not, whether you were going to keep him. You didn't know him. He hadn't become a loving part of your family. He was still on his visitor behavior. But now that I've had him for 6 months, he's not going anywhere. And I'll get whatever treatment I need for him to live the best life he can. Their mistake allowed me to have this loving little soul in my life. And their mistake has allowed him to have the most happy and joyful life he can possibly imagine. It was a mistake, but it's allowing me to grow in love. So we're going to get the care he needs. And it reminded me that moment that even when we're justified in our anger, there may be a greater blessing waiting for us if we keep our eyes and hearts open. Now, the next time you turn on the news, I want you to remind yourself of that. Because isn't that the real challenge we're dealing with all this turmoil in the world? Can you look at all the people in the world and send them a blessing? Even those people you don't care very much for. Because until we do that, we cannot step into our full blessing. We cannot be the full channels of God's mercy and grace that we're called to be. Cayce said that even after we cross over in the spiritual, we're going to have work to do. And one of the hardest things he said, he listed a couple of real blocks that he said he saw with people. And that's what I'm going to talk about. One of the biggest ones he says, and I don't know very many ministers that fall into this category, he says we have a need for external approval. We want people to love us. There's a great book by Terry Cole Whitaker. You don't have it, but it's really worth reading. It's entitled, What Others Think of You Is None of Your Business. None of your business. Because she said, what they think of you is reflective of their reality, not yours. Not yours. So when we seek applause instead of alignment, we're weakening the bridge between who we are and who we have come to be. The soul doesn't whisper, the soul whispers, it doesn't shout. Rumi says, there's a voice within us that doesn't use words. And he said, listen for that voice. When we dim our light to make others comfortable, we starve the world of our essence. And you're needed. You're necessary. With all your little nooks and crannies of your personality, they're not something to be overcome. They're something to value. For in our wounded places, Spirit can shine forth. We haven't come to life to be perfect. We're here to be human. And heaven knows it's tough enough to be human. You're doing the best you can. So every day we should ask ourselves, what does our soul want to do? And this will help us realign our inner compass. It reminds me of in Hindu scripture. In Hindu scripture, there's a battle scene, and the prince Arjuna, he's about to go into battle. And he's going into battle with his friends and family, and he does not want to do it. He's heartbroken that he has to do it. And Krishna comes to him and says, this is your role. This is your incarnation. This is your sacred duty. You're not this body. You are an eternal soul. Rise up and act. Rise up. There are roles for us to play in life, and we have to step up and to meet them. Another challenge that Edgar Cayce pointed out, and this was in the 40s, I would only be concerned what he would think of us today, but in the 40s he said, we're involved in a cult of busyness. Wonder what he would think about us today. How many times you've been out at a restaurant, you see a family. We were out a couple last weekend. There's a family of 4. They're all on their iPhones. All of them. You can't blame the kids. Parents have to remind them to stay present. Cayce says when we fill every corner of our lives with noise and motion, there is no room left for us to hear the still, small voice. And this is how Spirit speaks to us. In a still, small voice. I heard a story about a mom who had welcomed a French-speaking exchange student for the summer. When the student went back home, he sent her a thank you note, and instead of writing, best wishes or sincerely, he wrote, "I wish you busy." And the mother was perplexed about it. And she wrote him back, she said, "That's a strange way to conclude. Why did you conclude that way?" And he says, "Well, I've noticed you Americans are only happy when you're busy." One of my teachers, Paul Gagne, he says we long for eternal life, but most of us don't know what to do with ourselves on a lazy Sunday afternoon. In Psalms it said, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still. You have to shut down all the busyness, all the noise. You think about it, just a little over 100 years ago, our ancestors lived in a world of quiet. Before electricity, there was no motors going on, there was no automobiles. They had much more silence in their lives. But we are constantly bombarded by noise. We wake up and the first thing we do is we turn the television on, we turn music on. And all through the day there's noise. We want to give a moment of silence because just in that moment, Spirit can intervene. Silence is a lot like water. If you just drink water for 7 days, you will get to a place that all you want is water. If you will create a little bit of silence in your life, you will crave more silence. You will crave it. You'll find it nurturing you, healing you, blessing you. Even a minute of conscious breath paired with silence can recenter the soul. Hildegard of Bingen, she wrote, everything in the heavens, on the earth, and under the earth is penetrated with connectedness. We're connected with everything. We are instruments of the divine compassion, divine will. And so we have to tune in to receive this divine guidance. The third thing that Cayce says, we're disconnected from the present moment. He says we carry regrets over the past and fears over the future, and we miss the moment we're living in. Edgar Tolle says the past has no power over the present moment, only that which we give it. If we dwell in the past, then we live in the past, and we can continue to recreate the past in our lives if we hold on to them and give them energy. Cayce, he said he saw souls that scattered, part of them living in the past, part of them in anxiety over the future, and only a sliver of them living in the moment. Only a sliver, and that's where we want to live, in the present. Don't worry about the future. Forgive the past. True healing begins when we feel in the present. When you feel your feet on the floor, when you notice your breath, when you reclaim the now. This isn't mindfulness for calm. This is mindfulness for liberation. That's what we're seeking, liberation, breaking the bonds of anxiety, of fear, of worry, of concern, so we can step into who we truly are. And many of us, we're shrinking from our greatness. We procrastinate, we self-sabotage, or we hide our gifts because we fear the responsibility they will bring. Marianne Williamson, she said, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And why does that worry us so much? Because if we're powerful beyond our greater measure, we've got to step up and do something about the world. We just can't sit back and complain. We can't just sit back and blame the politicians, the church, the news media. We have to be out there in the world making a difference. And we're powerful enough to do it. We have that power to make a new heaven and a new earth. And Spirit is with us. Your soul did not come here to play small. And you're withholding your gifts. It disturbs all of creation. So you want to speak your truth, share your art, follow that nudge. Each step draws your mission closer to you. There are cases, and the other problem we have is we misuse our energy. This is our creative energy. He says this is sacred. It fuels our intuition. It creates beauty. It sustains life. But too often we leak it through addiction, distraction, and emotional drama. The Hindu text says that the wise see action in inaction, and in inaction, action. When we learn sacred conservation, we channel our life force towards that which makes us feel alive. Because that's what you come to life to do, to feel alive, to know that you're a part of the great unfoldment of all of creation. The other challenge, Cayce said, is our unforgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't deny our pain. It refuses to let the pain poison our future. Of Course in Miracles says forgiveness is the key to happiness. When we carry resentment, we stay tied to the very thing we want to move past. Forgiveness cuts the karmic cord and restores the divine flow of love. So we want to practice radical forgiveness, not to excuse the past, but to reclaim our present. These patterns, they won't dissolve overnight, but our awareness of them weakens their hold on us. So we can take action towards a better future for ourselves, our family, our community, and the world. So we can launch into a path to be what we've come to be where we were meant to be. Not small and wounded, but dynamic, powerful, bold. The universe is cheering you on. You belong here. You have a right to be here. And so start with one change, one step, one promise to your soul. Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters to what lies within us. Within you is all the power and creativity of God Almighty. And your soul has come to this. So we want to cross that veil that is holding us back, not by dying, but by awakening. Awakening to who you truly are, to how powerful you are, of the great mission you've come to have. Spirit is not disappointed in you. It is not angry at you just because you've made mistakes along the way. You cannot be human and not make mistakes. Spirit is more inspired by your possibilities than it has ever been discouraged by your mistakes. And it's ours to break free of those failures. It is ours to break free of those chains that have been holding us back. Those voices from our past, from judgments, from failures, from heartbreaks, whatever. Spirit is here to lift you up. Ruby says, dear one, you have wings to fly. Why do you choose to crawl on the ground? Well, today we've given that up. We're not crawling anymore. Today we're unfurling our wings. Today we're moving on. Today we're lifting our eyes to a greater vision for ourselves. And we're on the move. And no man and no trouble is going to hold us back. This is the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine. And so it is. Thank you.
Well, that made me change my song entirely. I'm a living sunset lightning in my bones. Push me to the edge, but my will is stone. I believe in a better way. Fools will be fools and wise will be wise. I can look the world straight in the eyes, and I believe in a better way. Oh, I believe in a better way. Yeah, I believe in a better way. Oh, I believe in a better way. Hey, what good is a man who won't take a stand? What good is a cynic without a plan? Hey, I believe in a better way. Reality is sharp, it cuts like a knife. Everyone I know is fighting for their lives, and I believe in a better way. Oh, I believe in a better way. Oh, we believe in a better way. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. I won't be governed by hate and fear, and I believe in a better way. What you gonna do in the hard days to come? Everyone is moving no matter where they're from, and I believe in a better way. Oh, I believe in a better way. Take your face from your hands and clear your eyes. You have the right to your dream, don't be denied. I believe in a better way. Ooh, we believe in a better way. Hey, I'm a little sunset lightning in my bones. Push me to the edge, but my will is strong, and I believe in a better way. Days will come, I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. Ooh, I believe in a better way.
So if you believe in a better way, see how I did that? Now's the time where you can show spirit. And then it's time to support our community. You can support this community by helping us volunteer. We always have volunteer projects for you to do, by doing prayer work for us, and by supporting us financially. However you choose to support us, know that your contributions will be received and blessed, and you'll be returned to you multiplied abundantly. So if you will take your intentions and place it over your heart, and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance as I freely and joyfully give. I join in divine flow, and all I share of life returns to me, multiplied abundantly. The ushers will step forward. Don, I know you got something magical for us.
This one cry. I learned this last night. Let's go drifting through the trees. Let's go sailing on the seas. Let's go dancing on the juke joint floor. Leave your troubles all behind. Have a party so easily forgotten. And the most important things, like the melody and the moonlight in your eyes. And the song that lasts forever just keeps on getting better all the time. Life is beautiful, life is wondrous, every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful in a stormy night, 'cause somewhere in this world the sun is shining bright. I get crazy, so afraid that I might lose you some fine day. I've been nothing but a tired old man. I don't want to be without you at the party, so easily forgotten. The most important thing is that I love you. I do. And I want to spend my days and nights walking through this crazy world with you. 'Cause life is beautiful, life is wondrous, every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful in a stormy night, 'cause somewhere in this world the sun is shining bright. So easily forgotten, the most important things is that I love you. Yes, I do. And I want to spend my days and nights walking through this crazy world with you. Life is beautiful, life is wondrous, every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night, 'cause somewhere in this world the sun is shining. The sun is shining bright.
Thank you, Betsy, and thank you for your support and contributions. Your support is allowing the center to grow and to thrive, to continue to be the beacon of hope and light and love. Your contribution is making the world a better place right where we are. So we thank you, we release it, we bless it, knowing it does its good and proper work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. Together we say, and so it is. All right, so we'll conclude our service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person, but take it in for yourself. Say something that works for you, well, hold tight to that. Say something that doesn't work for you, well, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power. That power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. It called me by name from stardust so I can walk the soil of St. Augustine. So here now, in this sacred place, surrounded by all these wonderful, loving souls, I now choose to know the best for myself. I choose to see myself as God sees me. So here today, I'm turning loose of every barrier, every chain that's held me back. I no longer will look for others for my approval. I will seek the guidance of my soul. I will take time to turn off the noise of the world and listen to the still small voice of my heart. I will use my creativity to know that I am here to do some good and purposeful work. The Spirit is calling me on. So this morning, I let go of all the baggage, all the woundedness that I've collected on along the way. I choose to lift my eyes up to a greater knowing, a knowing that I am with Spirit. Spirit is for me, flowing through me, encouraging me on. So this morning, I leave this place inspired. I leave here encouraged. I am not weak and wounded. I'm strong. I'm dynamic. I am a channel of God's blessings, and I am here to be awed with how much God loves me. So I fear no man. I fear no problem of the world. I know those are the shadows of the truth. The truth is I'm a child of the Almighty. The truth is I'm on a mission from God. The truth is I have been sent to experience the love and joy and compassion of Spirit made manifest through my heart and soul. And I am not turning back. I have seen the breaking dawn of God's love, and I'm on the move. Every cell of my being, it radiates this right knowing. And I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and purpose, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life. It's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all, and let us go be the miracle Spirit is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, this is Reverend Ken, wishing you many blessings.
Then go without a man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait. See, oh, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. You got to put a little love in your heart. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred show. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, put a little love in your heart. You got to put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Hey, in your heart. Fellas, take a good look around. And if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide that kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. You know that the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see.